Let me ask you something. What hurts more, the betrayal or the fact that you let it happen? The way she walked away so easily, like you never mattered. The way she moved on without hesitation while you were left questioning everything. You gave her everything. Your time, your energy, your loyalty. You made her a priority, while to her, you were just another option. And now, here you are, alone, left with nothing but silence, no explanations, no closure. Just an empty space where she used to be. She thought you'd break. She thought you'd beg, that you'd drown yourself in sorrow, replaying every memory, every conversation, searching for where it all went wrong. She expected you to watch her from the shadows, stalking her social media, waiting, hoping for a sign that she regrets it, that she misses you. But she doesn't. And the brutal truth, she won't. Not until it's too late. But here's where she miscalculated. She assumed you were weak. She thought you needed her to be whole. What she doesn't know is that pain doesn't break a man, it builds him. You don't run from the fire, you let it forge you. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of something unstoppable, a transformation so profound that when she finally realizes what she lost, she won't even recognize the man you've become. And by then, you won't care. This is your moment. The moment you take control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. No more emotional outbursts. No more chasing. No more proving your worth to someone who couldn't see it. Because from this point forward, your silence will speak louder than your words. Your actions will send a message no text could ever convey. You are about to become a force of nature, unshakable, unstoppable, and whether she realizes it or not, she just lit the fire that will turn you into something greater than you ever were before. Like this video if you're ready to rise above. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because this is where your transformation starts. And comment below, pain doesn't break me, it builds me. Now let's begin. Number 1. The first rule, emotional control is power. She expects a reaction. That's the first thing you need to understand. She wants to see you lose control, to see you angry, desperate, broken, because as long as you react, she still holds power over you. Every message you send, every call you make, every moment you spend thinking about her is proof that she still controls your emotions. And that's exactly what keeps her in control. But you're smarter than that. You won't give her the satisfaction, because the most powerful move you can make is absolute, unwavering emotional control. No anger, no sadness, no desperate attempts to be noticed. You move in silence. You become a ghost, not because you're running, but because you refuse to be controlled. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop feeding her ego, she loses all power over you. She thought she was irreplaceable. She thought you needed her validation. But when she sees that you don't flinch, that you don't chase, that you don't even acknowledge her absence, suddenly the game changes. And here's where the shift happens. She starts wondering, why aren't you devastated? Why aren't you fighting for her? Why aren't you trying to win her back? That confusion, that uncertainty. It's the beginning of her regret. Because nothing haunts a person more than realizing they had power over you, and then losing it completely. She starts to second guess. She replays memories. She wonders if she made a mistake. And while she's stuck in that mental loop, you're already moving forward, unbothered, detached, untouchable. This is your first lesson in Stoicism. Control your emotions and you control the situation. Weak men act on impulse. They seek closure. They crave validation. But you understand that true strength is found in restraint. The man who controls his emotions controls his fate. And the man who walks away without a word, he becomes a mystery she can't ignore. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I control my emotions. They don't control me. Number 2, the art of vanishing. Your silence will haunt her. You want to know the most powerful move you can make? Disappear. Not out of weakness, not out of spite, but out of strategy. Because the moment you remove yourself, the moment you go completely silent, she starts to feel it. At first, she won't notice. She'll be too caught up in her new distractions, her new life, convinced that you're still somewhere in the background, waiting, watching, hoping. But then, something shifts. Days turn into weeks, and your absence becomes undeniable. The same man who once showered her with attention, who once made her feel like the center of the universe, is now nowhere to be found. And that emptiness, it starts to echo. She checks her phone, expecting to see your name. Nothing. She scrolls through social media, half expecting a post, a story, a sign that you're still in the game. But you're silent. No likes, no messages, no reactions. It's like you vanished into thin air. And that's when it hits her. Because people only appreciate what they feel is slipping away. The greatest mistake men make after a breakup is keeping themselves visible, lingering in her world, hoping she notices. But all that does is reinforce her decision. She needs to believe she lost you. She needs to feel the space you once occupied. And the only way to do that? Absolute, unwavering silence. When you disappear completely, you force her to sit with her own thoughts. And thoughts, my friend, can be more brutal than any words you could ever say. She expected you to chase, to beg, to fight for her attention, but instead you became a ghost, a mystery, a lingering question in the back of her mind. And that's what will start to haunt her. Because the truth is, people always come back to what they can't figure out. And when she finally reaches out, because she will, it won't be out of love. It will be out of curiosity, out of insecurity, out of fear that she miscalculated. And by then, it won't matter, because you won't be the same man anymore. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. My silence speaks louder than my words. Number 3. The glow-up effect. Self-improvement as revenge. She expected you to fall apart. She thought you'd drown in your emotions, stuck in the past, wasting your days overthinking and checking her social media. But instead, you did something she never saw coming. You disappeared, and in that silence, you transformed. The greatest revenge is not anger. It's not confrontation. It's not even proving a point. The greatest revenge is undeniable self-improvement. The kind that makes her do a double take. The kind that makes her question everything. The kind that makes her regret ever thinking she could replace you. This is where you shift the focus, away from her, away from the past, and onto yourself. You hit the gym, you upgrade your style, you build your mind, you stack your money. Every day you become stronger, sharper, more disciplined. You develop a mindset so unbreakable that even if she begged to come back, she wouldn't even have access to the new version of you. Because let's be real, why would the man you're becoming ever settle for the woman who left him? She will hear about it. She will see it. Maybe through mutual friends, maybe through the silent ripple effect of your success. And when that moment comes, when she realizes you're not just okay but thriving, something inside her will shift. Because nothing makes a person regret losing you more than seeing you become everything they never thought you could be. This is the moment where you take all that pain, all that disappointment, all that anger, and you channel it into something unstoppable. You don't move on with words. You move on with action, with results, with a transformation so undeniable that when she finally looks back, she won't see the same man she left. She'll see the man she can never have again. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I become better, not bitter. Number 4. The law of indifference, attraction through detachment. The moment you stop caring is the moment you become powerful. Nothing draws people in more than the one thing they can't control. And the most dangerous man in the room? It's not the loudest. It's not the angriest. It's the one who remains unaffected. She thought she had you figured out. She thought she knew exactly how you'd react. Desperate, emotional, craving her validation. But when you show no reaction, when you become completely indifferent, that's when the power shifts. Because here's the truth. People are drawn to what they can't fully grasp. The moment she senses she no longer affects you, she starts to wonder why. She starts to question if she ever mattered at all, and that uncertainty, it drives people crazy. Indifference is your greatest weapon. Not anger, not revenge, not words. just the simple, unshakable ability to not care, to move forward without hesitation, to let go without a second thought. Because when she expects you to be watching, but you're too busy winning, you become the mystery, the enigma, the one thing she can't quite figure out. And that's what makes her want to. Most men make the mistake of over-explaining. They want her to know they're moving on. They want her to see their progress. But the real power move, you don't announce, you don't prove, you just live. And let her curiosity do the rest. Because the moment she realizes you've become untouchable, that's when the regret sets in. That's when she starts wondering if she made a mistake. But by then, it's too late. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I master myself. No one controls me. Number 5. The reappearance. She will come back, but you'll be different. At first, she won't notice your silence. She'll be too caught up in her distractions, too confident that you're still somewhere in the background, waiting. But as time passes, as your absence settles in, something shifts. She starts to wonder. She starts to check. And then, out of nowhere, she reaches out. Maybe it's a random message, "Hey, how have you been?" A meaningless excuse to start a conversation. Maybe she reacts to an old story, likes a picture, or leaves a subtle breadcrumb for you to follow. It's not an accident, it's a test. She wants to see if she still has access to you, if she still holds that same power. But here's where you make the most important move of all. You do nothing. She expects the old you. The one who would have jumped at the opportunity, who would have overanalyzed every word, every emoji, every little sign that she might still care. But that man doesn't exist anymore. You don't rush to respond. You don't ask questions. You don't give her the validation she's fishing for. Because the truth is, when a person loses you and then comes back, it's rarely about love. It's about curiosity. It's about insecurity. It's about realizing they might have miscalculated. And the moment you recognize that, you've already won. So when she comes back, and she will, you'll be different. Not bitter, not angry, just indifferent. Because the power dynamic has changed. She is now the one chasing clarity, the one seeking validation, the one wondering if she made a mistake. But by the time she figures it out, you'll already be past the point of caring. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I don't chase, I attract. Number 6. The power of saying no. Control the frame. She never expected you to change. She thought she could leave and come back whenever she pleased. That you'd always be an option, always be available, always be waiting. But the moment she reaches out, the moment she tries to step back into your life, she's met with something she never saw coming: resistance. You see, most men fold the second an ex reaches out. They take it as a sign, a chance, a moment to rekindle what was lost. But a man who has mastered himself, he knows better. He understands that allowing someone back into his life is not about emotions. It's about control, about setting the frame, about deciding who gets access to him. She will test you. She will try to reopen the door she once slammed shut. Maybe she'll ask to catch up. Maybe she'll say she misses talking. Maybe she won't even say much at all, just a simple "hey" to see if you still respond the way you used to. But this time, you don't, because the truth is, she made her choice, and now you make yours. This is where real power comes from, the ability to say no, to deny her what she once took for granted, to remind her without saying a word that the man she left no longer exists. You are no longer her safety net. You are no longer her backup plan. She lost access to you the moment she walked away. And that realization, it stings more than anything you could ever say. When you say no, you reclaim control. You show her that your value was never dependent on her presence. And in that moment, she finally understands. She didn't just lose a man. She lost a version of you that she will never have again. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. I am the prize, not an option. Number 7. The unshakable mindset. You're untouchable now. There comes a moment in every transformation where the shift is complete, where you no longer fake confidence, you are confidence. Where you no longer pretend to be indifferent, you feel indifferent. Where you no longer need external validation because you've built something inside of you that no one can take away. You're untouchable now. Not because you're cold, not because you're heartless, but because you've learned that your peace, your focus, your energy are your most valuable assets. And you don't just give them away anymore. You move differently. You speak with purpose. You carry yourself with a presence that commands respect. And the best part, you don't need to prove it to anyone. She will notice it. They all will. The people who doubted you, the ones who expected you to break, the ones who thought they could play with your emotions and walk away unscathed. But now they're looking at you with different eyes, because the version of you they once knew is gone, and the man's standing in his place. He doesn't seek approval. He doesn't explain himself. He doesn't need anyone, because he has mastered the most important thing of all, himself. This is the final form of your transformation, where you stop seeking revenge, stop waiting for recognition, stop looking for signs that she regrets it. Because at this point, it no longer matters. You've outgrown the version of yourself that needed her, and that is the greatest comeback of all. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. My peace is priceless. Number 8. The cold truth. She regrets it, but you no longer care. Regret is a slow poison. It doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in little by little until it's too late. And right now, she's feeling it. At first, she thought she made the right choice. She thought she could replace you, that she could do better, that you'd always be there as a backup. But then, something changed. Maybe it was the silence. Maybe it was the way you vanished without a trace. Maybe it was hearing your name from someone else's lips, realizing you've moved on without hesitation. Whatever it was, it triggered something deep inside her, a realization she never expected. You were never the weak one. She was. And now, she's the one stuck in the past, questioning everything, wondering why she ever thought she could do better. She'll never admit it. She'll never say it outright, but the signs will be there. The random check-ins, the sudden interest in your life, the subtle attempts to pull you back into her orbit. But what she doesn't realize is that the man she left behind no longer exists. You are no longer affected, no longer available, no longer interested. And that's what will hurt the most. Because the harsh reality is, nothing stings more than realizing someone no longer wants what they once begged for. You don't hate her. You don't wish her pain. You simply don't care. And that indifference, it's the one thing she never prepared for. Like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I am untouchable. Number 9. The only way is forward. The past is done. The pain, the heartbreak, the betrayal, it all served its purpose. It burned away the weakness, the illusions, the need for validation. And now, there is only one direction left to go. Forward. You don't look back. Not because you're bitter, not because you're holding a grudge, but because the man you've become has outgrown everything that once held him back. The version of you that was desperate for love, for approval, for someone else's validation. He no longer exists. In his place stands a man who moves with purpose, a man who understands that true power isn't about getting revenge. It's about becoming so focused on your own growth that nothing from your past can touch you. And she will watch. They all will. The ones who doubted you, the ones who underestimated you, the ones who thought they could break you. But you've already moved on. You've built a life so solid, a mindset so unshakable, that no one's presence or absence determines your worth. This is the final lesson. There is no going back, no waiting, no hoping. The chapter is closed, and the only thing left to do now is build. Build your mind, build your body, build your empire. Because at the end of the day, the only person responsible for your success, your happiness, your peace is you. Like this video, subscribe and comment below. The past made me, but it doesn't define me. This is it. This is where the weak version of you dies and the unshakable man is born. You've felt the pain, you've embraced the silence, and now you've reclaimed your power. There's no more looking back, no more seeking closure, no more waiting for someone else to validate your worth. You've outgrown all of it. And the best part? You didn't need to prove anything to her. She sees it, she feels it, and deep down she knows she lost something she can never get back. But you've gained something priceless, a mindset so strong that nothing, not her, not the past, not even your own emotions, can break you. Now it's time to move forward with complete clarity, with unwavering purpose. Your story doesn't end in heartbreak, it ends in mastery of yourself, your emotions, your life, and the man